Days ago, I had a new hive delivered, a beehive, and because we need 2 hives, and I explained that a little bit in a couple of minutes. So the bees have been really mad, but I think, well, they're much calmer today, much calmer today. So we got to feed them one more time here today or tomorrow, but I've got a bee video for you. I hope you enjoy it. It's kind of different because we couldn't record it because the bees were so angry. Nobody could get close. It ran the cameraman, Shelly, and my son away and actually got him pretty good.
Wait, I know. Where are you going? Is he still in your hair? Was he in your hair?
Ow!
Did he sting your thumb?
So this is the day that we got the new hive. The guy carrying the hive, that's a complete hive full of bees. It's all tied together so he could drive in the truck. He's about an hour and a half away. He's my mentor. He brought me that first set of bees. Now I just paid for a new hive. A new hive, if you're curious, is $350. That includes those 3 boxes, a feeder, the bees, a full colony of bees, so 30,000 bees or so, and a queen. And the queen supposedly is less than a year old. Queens only last for 3 years, I understand. Let me repeat that I am not pretending to be and not even close to knowledgeable about bees. I've been doing this for a little over 2 months maybe with the one hive, and I still have trouble seeing eggs and the pupa and the larva and things like that. So Sean is a great help. I was thinking that with one hive, you can't have a reference as to how the another hive is doing, or how your hive is doing. You need 2 hives. For instance, the new hive he's bringing me is doing great. That's because it's his hive. The hive that I have, for some reason, didn't grow as we expected. It was supposed to go up from the lower box, the large box, it was supposed to go up into the upper box, which is called a medium. Fill out those frames. So he's looking at frames right now and showing me eggs and showing me larvae. So I'm looking for the eggs. They're very hard to see. They're like a grain of rice standing up in the cell. The queen lays one about every 10 or 15 seconds. It's much easier to see the larva. The eggs turn into larvae within a few days, and it looks like a little white worm in there that's curled around inside the cell. And then the bees come along and fill the top of that cell in with wax, and those are covered up, and those are called brood cells. Then the brood cells will cover up the middle of the frames in the lower boxes, and he's got bees in the upper box too. And around those broods will be honey, will be nectar, and pollen, called bee bread, I think. And that's for all the bees to feed on as they're working. When you're looking in a hive, like he's showing me right now, that when you look into a hive, you don't have to find the queen necessarily, although obviously the queen's important. Not the most important, but important since she's the mother of everybody. But when you're looking in a hive, you're looking for evidence of the queen. So you're looking for eggs, larvae, pupa. It'd be nice to find her so you can see her, so you know she's protected. You don't hurt her in any way by picking out some of the frames wrong or something like that. Notice that the bees on the left side are much more active than the bees on the right side. That's because the bees on the left side are angry, and I've been telling him for about a month now that those bees are angry. In fact, I started wearing gloves because they started stinging, and although it hurts not like a yellow jacket, it still hurts. Sean's going to find out here in a minute how angry these bees are. So he uses smoke just to push them down off the frames. The smoke also inhibits the pheromones that the bees put out. And the pheromones are a danger signal, a smell that you... You'll see him get bit on the hand here, at least once, more than once probably, but he'll spray his hands with smoke. These frames are black plastic shaped in honeycombs. They look like a honeycomb, but they're black plastic. The bees come along and copy the hexagonal pattern of the plastic with wax, and they build it up so that you get the honeycomb wax structure. What he's doing now is putting in the box 2 drawn combs. So those are old frames from another beehive that died or something. And they're already drawn and they're already ready to be used. They can have eggs laid in them, they can have nectar put in them, they can have bee bread put in them. So that will help the bees speed up the process because they don't have to work so hard to lay all that wax on all the black comb. The other thing you can do with 2 hives that you cannot do with 1 is you can use the good hive to transplant brood and honey feed over to your hive that's not doing so well. It doesn't hurt the good hive to do that. In fact, we split hives and we'll be doing that in the spring. We'll take a very active hive with lots and lots of bees and we'll split it. We will force them to create a new queen because if the queen dies or goes away for some reason, and every 3 years or so, they will know, the bees know that they have to create a new queen. There's a special way they lay a cell. It's called a peanut cell, and it goes underneath the frame instead of on the side of the frame. So it's easy to find. They will take an egg that she has laid, the old queen has laid. They will feed it what's called royal jelly, which is just super honey, like superfood, and grow her into a queen. So we can force them to make a new queen, and then we will split the hive. So you can see the bees are getting quite a bit more active now. It doesn't help if he shakes the bees off and throws them on the ground. Doesn't hurt the bees at all to do that. I wish I could remember everything he told me that I could tell you, but there's a lot. We're talking about a lot. We're talking about what trees are in bloom, what's coming into bloom, what comes into bloom into spring, and what I have to watch out for. When you feed them, you're going to watch him get bit here in just a second. He gets stung. They're going to get really mad now when he pulls this top off. Most of the bees are in the lower box. And there's a reason. He figures it out here in a minute and tells me what he thinks it is. Now you can see them. Now they're getting mad. The first month or so that I had them, they never did this. They never swarmed like this. And swarm may not be the best term to use, because swarming bees means the old queen has taken about a third of them. Now, all of a sudden, I don't know what happened to the video here, but it jumped up, and now you see he's wearing gloves. He went out to his truck and got a pair of gloves because he got stung a couple times there. I started wearing gloves about a week ago because I was getting stung too. Those pads that he's taking off and moving around, he's showing me I had them on there wrong. Those are prevention of varroa mites. Mites are little bitty critters that get onto bees and cause disease that go through the hive pretty quickly. So you can see, you'll be able to see here in a minute, hopefully, how many bees are on one of these frames. Look at all the bees on that frame, just completely covered. He's looking for the queen. I haven't seen the queen for a while, but she's on this frame and he's just showing me where she is. She's right down there in that bottom right corner. You'll see me find her just a second here. She's covered up with other bees. There she is. She's got a little yellow dot on her. I think I showed that in one of the early videos. Makes her easy to see. However, when the queen moves around, and she's always moving around, right, because she's looking from cell to cell. But when she moves around, she's always followed by all the bees. They not all of them, but a big group of bees follow her around. They feed her, they take care of her. But you'll see as she moves around, they get out of her way wherever she's going, but they'll all be around and behind her. So sometimes she's hard to see because she's covered up. So he's talking to me, he's going now, he's telling me, he said, this is not right. See how angry they are? He's going, this is not right, something's wrong. And he's trying to figure out what it is. And you'll see in a minute, he turns around and he starts looking at the fence. So you could see the wire fence I have, that's an electric fence. And it's got a heck of a jolt to it because of bears. Oh, guess who's out? The guineas are out. So what he's telling me is that I've got the wire a little too high on the bottom rung of the fencing, and that skunks are coming in at night under the wire, and they are putting their feet up on the entrance. Right there where I'm leaning down. And tapping on the beehive. The bees come out and they just gobble them up. So the bees are continually angry because they're getting attacked almost every night. He said if I fix the fence, that within a week they would calm down considerably, and that has happened. I did fix the fence, but I did have to wear my bee suit to fix the fence because as soon as I went back later this day and started working on the fence, they came after me again. So we're gonna have fun with these two hives. I went ahead and got this hive now because they will grow, they will continue to grow. We still have things blooming. Right now, goldenrod and other things, you can see the goldenrod is really golden, and you can really see the pollen on the bees' legs as they come back in on the fields. It's bright yellow, so there's bright yellow in all of the cells right now. I have no idea what kind of honey that's going to be, but we'll learn more about honey next year. We won't be able to get honey till the spring. But it's interesting. I like doing this. It's fun. The bees are cool to watch. One of the neatest things is to watch some of the brood cells hatch when the larva starts eating their way. So when the eggs turn into larvae, the bees come along and put a wax coating over it, and then they're called a brood cell. And then those larvae, as they turn into fully formed bees, eat their way out of the cell. So they were larvae when they went in, but you can watch these bees eat their way out, and it's cool to watch. So we hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please subscribe, like it. It helps me pay for my new bees. So yeah, thanks for watching.